What is friendship? I want to understand the philosophy behind friendship.
That's the model you already know of. Not much remains to be said now. Yes, it's good to have fun. But your friend should also be the one who can deliver the right insight when the moment asks for it. So your friend must be good fun, yes, obviously, but should also have. And that applies not just to friends, but more importantly to boyfriends and girlfriends.
So everybody wants to be happy. Anybody here who wants to be unhappy? Why can't you have such friends in IIM? Many people don't.
We make the happiness conditional.
Correct.
On our biases and our
Just
beliefs.
Talking about the Vedanta says that we are essentially blissful beings. It says that.
How would the education that we have right now in college, if integrated with Vedanta, how would that change?
So we learn how to do, we learn a little bit of what to do, but we don't learn anything about why to do something.
Lovely, yes. It's a perfect answer. If I can't learn from my own past, can I learn from the lives of others?
I still say that if you have strong ambition, you want to make a lot of money, or you want to marry the most beautiful girl, or you want to, want to become a CEO.
My question is, what is friendship and how relevant friendships are in the competitive environment like IIM and beyond in shaping one's inner self?
I think, in all these things, let's not tie ourselves up in knots. I feel that simple common sense is good. And simple common sense, we can say what is common, we can go on and on, is not against Vedanta. So my simple thing is, yeah, friendships are good, but what kind of friends, etc., is always important. And if you find well-meaning and friends that you like and get along with, you should have friends. But if you take it a little beyond that into the spirit, Shankaracharya starts with saying satsangatve nisangatvam, means satsang hona chahiye. You should have the company of good people. Now what is good and all, I don't want to get into all that, but I think we have our own common sense. And why can't you have such friends in IIM? There are so many alumni groups, they keep sending messages to each other even after 20 years. Of course you should have friends. I mean, why are you asking such a question? I don't know.
So the intention is, I want to understand the philosophy behind friendship. One way we see the Arjun and Krishna friendship and Krishna and Sudama's friendship, and then we see our current friendship, which is more transactional. So I just want to understand the difference. What is being changed from that time to now?
Nothing. See, there were transactional people then also, and there are meaningful relationships today also. So you don't get into those kind of friendships then. What is the problem? Don't avoid it if it doesn't help you. There are good people.
Okay, thank you, sir. But I would like to hear Acharya Prashant's thoughts on that as well.
The thing is actually well settled here. I can only present it in more technical terms. The same essence, because not much can be said beyond that. And you have in fact completed your own answer by mentioning Krishna and Arjun. That's the model you already know of. Not much remains to be said now. They were having fun together, right? If we are to believe the Mahabharata as carrying at least some history, they were having fun together. In fact, we very well know that they were related in more ways than one. You know of Krishna's sister, right? How was Arjun related to her?
He was her husband.
And do you know how did the alliance come about? It's a very rich story.
Yes, I'm aware.
The elder brother, Balram, didn't want it to happen. So Krishna actually got into something very dramatic, filmy by today's standards, and helped Arjun elope away with Subhadra. And later on, when Abhimanyu dies, the dialogue, it's a very rich dialogue between Subhadra and Krishna. and she has some harsh things to say. That you were the one who arranged this, and now you are the charioteer, and you couldn't prevent this from happening. My son has been killed. So, yes, it's good to have fun. It's also good to, arrange mates and girlfriends for your, or boyfriends for your friends. That too we see happening there. But your friend should also be the one who can deliver the right insight when the moment asks for it. You cannot have somebody you are having night outs with, you are doing people watching or girl watching or boy watching with, but when it comes to that moment of crunch, that decisive moment when a very significant decision has to be made, to be or not to be, to fight or not to fight, to kill or not to kill, and you find that your friend is clueless. So your friend must be good fun, yes, obviously, but should also have a center you can look up to. And that applies not just to friends, but more importantly to boyfriends and girlfriends. And then to what you call as your life partners. Obviously, you don't want a boring person in your life. The fellow should bring in a degree of excitement, some freshness, good fun, nice to hang around with. Yes, fine, all that is fine. Sensual, it excites the mind, there is that dopamine thing and all the other hormones. Let that be there. But the essential condition must never be forgotten. That fellow must have some of the inner light of Krishna. Otherwise, in the moment of your darkness, you'll find your friend is no good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, I wanted to know that integrating Vidya and Avidya together. So I just wanted to know from the both of you, how would, in the light of Vedant, how would management teaching change? Or how would the education that we have right now in college, if integrated with Vedant, how would that change?
So, management teaching.
This is like raising a straw man. Like, you have an objective that you think is good, and then we have to answer that how it will happen. I don't know whether it should happen or not, but the main thing is, as he said, science does not have a conscience. The same kind of thing is there in management. Management is, I don't know what is the right word. It is how to manage, and we underlying thing is that how to maximize profits and all that. But the same management principles can be used for leading a better life, leading making a better planet if they are so interested, whatever it is. So the question of motivation of why we are doing something, we take it for granted. Now, even in economics, many people have started questioning. So they don't say that profit maximization is the only thing or market cap is the only thing. They will talk about triple bottom line. Now then they say multiple stakeholders. So the technology of management or the principles of management may still be worth studying, but it is how you use them and for what purpose is what is important. By the way, when they say Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, there is nothing like Vedanta, and everything is Vedanta in a certain sense. Everything is coming from the same source. It is how we use, misuse, understand, or misunderstand it. So the purpose of education also, we don't pay enough attention to that. That's what I feel. And now it is a crying need, because not only IIM, so many places, they are now trying to figure that out, that what should we, why should we be doing what we are doing. So we learn how to do, we learn a little bit of what to do, but we don't learn anything about why to do something.
Lovely, yes.
That is about it is, yeah.
I think it's a perfect answer. How and what suffice if the why is unknown. Vedanta can technically go a step ahead and say, to whom? For whom? For whom? Who will benefit from the profit being made? And how? So, but this is self-sufficient.
He has to go. I wanted to say a couple of things. One is, I feel that there's no point tying ourselves up in knots. Keep it simple. And I still say that if you have strong ambition, you want to make a lot of money, or you want to marry the most beautiful girl, or you want to, want to become a CEO, but take responsibility. Yes, I want that, and do it. And face the consequences. Think about the consequence, face it. Don't, because if that is your swabhava, that you want to become rich and famous, go and do it. Yeah? But don't, the Vedanta doesn't say that don't do it. Because, I mean, some of you are in my class, it says in the Isha Upanishad, enjoy this world. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Of course, give up the sense of ownership. Desire to live 100 years. Second verse, desire to live 100 years. So be bold, don't be afraid. It is fear. So the Upanishad always says abhay, abhay. So fear, yes, what the hell? I want to enjoy life. I mean, I'm not like that, but I'm saying if somebody wants to do that, I want to enjoy life, I want to make money, I want to be the CEO, I want to have a beautiful wife, I want to travel around the world, I want to be rich and famous, I want to have all the sensual pleasures. If you that's what you feel, do it, but be prepared to face the consequences.
And also learn from the past, because these things that you want to do in the future, you have already experienced a micro version of the same things in the past. What did they give you? Because if you wait to experience the consequences might come first thing so late that any corrective action might not be possible, and time flows only in one direction. Secondly, more importantly, the consequences might not just be upon you, but upon millions of others. You said, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you went ahead, and the consequences were that millions of animals got killed. How will you return their lives now? So when you decide to proceed in a certain direction, one thing to ask is, have I not done a prototype of this already many times before? And if I have not, I sincerely feel I have not tasted or tried this before, then aren't there others who are trying much the same thing? And can I learn from the consequences that they face? If I can't learn from my own past, can I learn from the lives of others?
Yes.
So,
and another thing I wanted to say, because the title was misleading, it went into climate change and all, so welcome whatever people are interested in. So why should we do all this? All this introspection and all. So again, Vedanta is an answer for this. So everybody wants to be happy. Anybody here who wants to be unhappy? And they will say that happiness is your very nature. Your inner self, its very nature. Anandam ne. What is that? Know that Brahma as full of bliss. I'm not remember. Anandam Brahmeti Vijayanat. In the Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahmananda Valli. So it is not that we want to be happy. It's saying your inner nature is actually to be happy. And all these questions and torturing our minds and thinking what is right, what is wrong, is basically to go back to what we essentially are. That's what the Vedanta says, that we are essentially happy, blissful, please. That's what it says. The Atman is full of Brahma. Bliss. It says that. So might as well find out that inner self. That is what we are looking for. We think if we do A, B, C, D, E, F, then we'll get it. Vedanta says, no, you are already that. Just remove the ignorance, you will get it. That is why we should do all this. Because when you discover your real self, then that is, it says, the Atman shines as bliss, the Brahman shines as bliss. That's what it says. And if we believe that Vedanta, then we have to go in that direction. It's literally like we're trying to catch our nose like this. We want to be happy and we're trying to catch, we can't, but it's right here, I mean.
Raman Maharshi used to put it very nicely, the straight line, the simple path, the simple path. He said, ultimately, even through dukh, you are trying to reach Anand. But why not reach it directly, the direct path? So very well,
The
beautifully
main
said.
thing is that people who go to him know that we are essentially of the nature of happiness, but unfortunately, many people don't
We
even
make
know.
the happiness conditional
Correct.
on our biases and our
Just
beliefs.
talking about the Vedanta says that we are essentially blissful beings. It says that, I mean. And if we believe that, we are also that.
Namaste Acharya ji, Namaste Trilochan ji. Homo sapiens as a species is very resilient, and today that resilience shows up in endless expansion, whether it is science, growth, or consumption, even at the cost of ecological collapse. Now you say, Acharya ji, that raising the collective consciousness will stop all this. So is the solution going back to the agrarian living? Or can we, with the right center, establish a balance within us and, the humanity?
No. Quite the contrary. The paradigm you are using, if I may say, is flawed. The agrarian living was the beginning of destruction itself. You are trying to hark back to a previous kind of karma, action. When you say man sustains by agriculture, you are talking of a particular kind of action. Still not the center of action. When we moved from the jungle to the field, was the center an enlightened one? You are talking of a change in action. We were hunter-gatherers, fine. And now we became agricultural. That's change of action. Right? And what was the center that brought about that change? Did we really want illumination, inner liberation? Did we want to have loving relationships with each other and the environment? And that's why we said that now we have to clear away the jungle and get into planting something and storing something, and then barter system, and then private ownership of property. Was the center so illumined one? No. Actually, the center remained primitive. The center remained unconscious, unillumined. From that center, the decision to move from the jungle to the field, from the forest to the field, was taken. If that's how we move to the fields, to the farms, please tell me, how will going back to those farms, carrying the same center, rectify the situation? You are imagining that it is a particular kind of economy that is at the root of the climate crisis or the whole ecological destruction. It is not a particular kind of economy that is wreaking the havoc. It is a particular center of ignorance that is doing it. And that's missing in your question, your paradigm.
Yeah.
If we remain who we are, whether we remain industrial, post-industrial, or agricultural, or even pastoral, we will still destroy ourselves and the planet. Because that's what this center is built to do. Self-annihilate. The particular mode of economic activity won't matter. The particular karma, the particular action won't matter when the actor himself is unconscious. So this thought, this kind of nostalgia. Let's go back to the villages. Let's return to the good old simple lifestyles, and then everything will be restored to its health. This is just wishful thinking. It won't help. What is wrong today is not the industry, is not this, not that. They are symptoms. What is missing is self-knowledge. But that sounds so boring. I mean, let's do something dramatic, no? Let's flatten all the cities and turn them into farms. And then we'll have a utopian new mankind and a new economy. And that sounds nice. That gives some excitement and a spike. The answer is boring, actually. As long as we remain who we are, irrespective of the direction we choose, we will be rushing towards total annihilation. Doesn't matter the road we choose. As they say, all roads lead to destruction. Doesn't matter the road you choose, and it's been too much. COP30 just, we are too busy just switching roads. What we need to change is not the road, but the traveler. And that's we don't want to discuss that. You don't have to give up on scientific progress. You don't have to give up on all the technological advancement. No, you don't need to. These are not the culprits. Technology is not what is destroying us. Scientific knowledge is not evil. The problem is the one who is using science and technology to further his inner nonsense. That's the one we need to take care of. Regressing. And you can simply say, let's bomb the entire human civilization flat and we'll be all right. Or you could say, let's just burn all the libraries. Let's delete all the collective data that we have, not just in the data centers, but also in our inner chips. Let's delete all this and then everything will be healthy and the ecology will be saved. No. Even if you do that, just 5,000 years later, you will find yourself in the same problematic spot. What you need is not a flattening of the cities, not holding science and technology as culpable, but an honest mirror to look into. That's what we need. And then you can have endless progress in science, you can have great technology, no problem with that. Don't hold these things as responsible. Going back to the farms won't help. In fact, a lot of people who are still stuck with farming are inwardly very violent. A lot of people who have very little science or technology, you go to them, and it's not as if remaining in the jungle or remaining on the hills or remaining with the soil has kept them simple and innocent. No, that's not that way. Where do you find the maximum superstition?
The villages and the places where agriculture is
obviously. So does that mean that agricultural places are inwardly cleaner? Not at all. Where do you find maximum in India? Caste exploitation and discrimination and many other kinds of nonsense. It is in places where the economy too is still in one of the primitive modes. So your thesis is unfounded. If you are thinking that villages or places in the old kinds of economy are better off in terms of the inner quality of individuals, no, that's not the way.
So Acharya ji, towards the end, so I had actually put my question in a way that is it going back to the agrarian life, or is it choosing to live with the right center and then see where it takes us? So where it takes us is something which because
you cannot choose the right center. The wrong center cannot choose the right center. But that's a tempting myth to have. The wrong center can only unchoose itself. The wrong center cannot choose the right center, because the wrong center by definition is the one that cannot look at anything rightly, that cannot know the reality of anything. That's how the wrong center is defined. So remaining at the wrong center, remaining inwardly who we always have been, we want to choose something right. No. The way is neti neti. Unchoose. Remaining yourself, don't try to make a positive choice. Your choice must always be negative. The only option that you have is of rejection. Choosing will happen on its own. The right action will happen on its own. The mode of economy, let life take care of it. Life will take care of it. Your job is to not remain inwardly the stinking thing we are.
And when we negate all of these stinking things that you are talking about, and then finally the right thing will happen on its own, as what you are saying. When it happens, if humanity chooses that scientific progress is actually destroying the planet, then will it stop doing the
Scientific progress has no conscience. It does not have any agency that can choose. This is a product of science, or is it not?
Yes.
This is a product of science. A gun too is science put into technology. How can a mug, a mic, or a gun choose to destroy the planet? It's the one pulling the trigger. It's the one filling this up with venom. Not the mug itself, not the gun, but the one spewing nonsense into the mic. The mic cannot spit nonsense on its own, or can it? So science is not the culprit.
Yeah, it has to be the karta. Thank you so much, Acharya ji.
Just download the Acharya Prashant app, and there you go to the community section, and you have live testimonials streaming in at the rate of 1 every 5 minutes. I'm seeing lives change in thousands, if not millions, every day in front of my own eyes. We are doing it.
Right.
We have actually done it.
Join the community of more than 2 lakh participants on the Acharya Prashant app. Your first month is completely free. You'll get full access to Gita Mission. On the app, you will get regular live sessions, daily exclusive conversations with Acharya Prashant, access to the vibrant Gita community, wisdom exams, curated news, audiobooks, quotes, and much more. Search Acharya Prashant on Google Play Store or Apple App Store and download now.